Hi, you're watching Interview of the Day. Joining us today is Mr. Diesen. He's a research fellow at the Western Sydney University. Thank you for being with us today. What do you think of Astana?
Astana, well, I think it represents the ambitions of Kazakhstan in terms of essentially preparing for uncertain futures. So essentially built a whole new city here, or a whole new capital, and really from scratch being able to build everything and prepare for the future. So I think it's represents a lot of what Kazakhstan is doing these days.
Do you think that robots would replace human in the future?
Long into the future, yes, but for the next decade it will mostly be repetitive tasks. So whatever you can repeat often, this can be automated. That's why I've seen Amazon, for example, automate much of its workforce. The cashier can be automated. I guess what's different this time than in the past is we're automating the cognitive. So middle-class workers in the past, white-collar workers, thought that they might be safe, but now the accountants, they can be automated. Even drivers with driverless cars. In the US, I think that's almost 5 million people alone which risk losing their jobs. So they might find new jobs, but this is a painful process, and you're robbing people of their economy as well as their social status. So I'm not saying we should go and smash the machines, but we have to be prepared for the societal and economic disruption that these technological advancements are causing.
So what do you think countries must do or should do to prevent the loss of job because of robotics?
Well, there's no real way to get around it except greater distribution. So you need greater state involvement. And I often make the point that if you have maximum market efficiency, you essentially get rid of all the people and you forget about them. But in the past, until the 1980s at least, we always had market efficiency being balanced by the social responsibilities of the state. Now, in the last 20-30 years, we had very neoliberal economics in which market efficiency comes ahead of everything. Now I think that's coming to an end because of the concentration of wealth. I think there's more need now for the intervention of the state to help to redistribute, which essentially at the end of the day is in the benefit of all, because once you have too big inequality, you will have social unrest and political instability. So governments will have to find a new role to themselves, essentially.
What kind of roles should government find then to help humanity?
Well, first they need to find out what people are supposed to do if they're not needed in work. It's a difficult question because it's not just economic, but it's social as well. We often, a common solution is the idea of basic income. So essentially you tax a lot of these corporations using robotics and everyone gets a fixed salary whether or not you're working. But a lot of these solutions misses the point that human beings, they need purpose. And like for your job, for example, your responsibilities, this is what gives you a lot of meaning as well. So there's it's a common idea that if you take away people's living and work, you're not going to do them any favors. So the utopia is not just lie at the beach all day and do nothing. Rather, you will have a lot of frustration. So we need to find new professions for places for people where they can be creative, use their intellectual abilities. But unfortunately, the reality is that there will be a huge amount of people who don't have the intellectual skills, the creative skills to find employment. And it's not clear what's going to happen to them, I guess.
Okay, thank you very much for your time.
My pleasure.